Okay, I'm just gonna preface this with saying I'm going to be addressing a lot of stuff, including the Melanie allegations. So if you are uncomfortable with the topic of sexual assault, or you just don't want to talk about the Timothy drama, I suggest you skip this video.
Speaking out against my abuser ruined my life, and I'd like to talk to you about it. Here's how we got to that point. During the Me Too movement, I chose to speak out against a former friend who had essayed me. I was young, naive, and could never imagine how this would end up affecting my life. I believed that as long as I told the truth, things would turn out all right. I was very wrong. After my initial statement, describing in detail what happened, my abuser issued a statement in response. She used the sentence, "She never said no to what we chose to do together." While I did say no, in many different ways, this sentence was actually quite validating for me to hear. She clearly didn't understand how consent works, and she admitted that something took place between us. I wish it ended there.
Story about how after she released the first statement, Melanie fans immediately rushed over to defend Melanie in 2017, and after they thought she was supposedly lying, people sent her threats, leaked her information, doxed her, and no matter whose side I'm on, I just think that's messed up.
I made the mistake of doing an interview with Daily Mail. While being interviewed, they asked for more specific details, like when the incident took place. It'd been around 2 years prior, so I didn't remember the exact date. What I did remember was a picture I took the next day. I went back in my camera roll, found the picture, and told them the day of the incident was the day before. Unfortunately, I was wrong. The picture in my camera roll appeared multiple times. I can't explain why. When the interview came out, her fans went back in her posts to that date to find that we were in different states. If you've never heard my story before, you might at this point wonder, why would that matter? She admitted something between you took place in her statement. I agree, and this is just one of the parts that drives me crazy. After this discovery, she released a second statement, in which she thanks her fans for researching the timeline and analyzing past Instagram posts which reveal my false statements. Unfortunately, this was enough for 99% of her fans to take what she said as truth and deem me a liar. The complete contradiction of her statements meant nothing.
Second of all, Melanie has an abnormal amount of silence. She speaks out about everything, as far as I know. I've checked her archived posts, I've checked what she currently posts. She speaks out about everything. She makes posts sharing about this, about that. She posts every Pride Month about how it's important. She posts about appreciation. She posts about awareness for the genocide going on. And I definitely think that's amazing. But her silence it speaks volumes. Now, what's my opinion is I personally am on Timothy's side. It was a really hard decision, and after a lot of consecutive thinking, I have decided that Melanie has grown increasingly suspicious over the months I was in this fandom, and I truly think that, especially considering there are so many victims, well, there were three, but especially because of all the people that have come out about her since her statement in 2017, which I have all done research about. I will link the YouTube videos if anyone is interested. Including three victims, Timothy, who was repeatedly saying no and was still pressured, and then eventually being essayed, and then another victim, I'm so sorry, but I forgot her name, who was coerced into having intercourse with her.
I didn't do anything wrong. I spoke the truth. If you're familiar with my story, you may have also heard that I admitted to lying, and I can assure you that never happened. There were photoshopped images spread around of a confession that never happened because I have nothing to confess. I never lied. You may have also heard that I accused other celebrities of this, which I can promise you never happened either.
Yippee, we love. First of all, again, the accusations. Why do I have the spoon again? Anyway, the accusations were never proven false. Melanie has always been in and out of controversy, whether it be the allegations from 2017, the mess up with a lot of drama that the fans tried to do. And then during portals, oh, I'm not even gonna get started on that. The people who made a entire group to harass her ex. Yeah, and that's another weird, suspicious thing. When they did that, she didn't speak up once, she didn't speak up twice, she spoke up 3 times. I want you to hear me when I say this. Spoke up 3 times about you people harassing her ex. Now her reputation is on the line. She isn't actively on tour because she hasn't been on tour for like a few weeks now. I'm aware, oh, Melanie's not on social media much. Okay, that's good for her. I mean, that is amazing that she's able to not go on social media much. But when your entire Instagram and comment section is all, hey, Melanie, please address the allegations, you've got to start doing something. I'm aware she's no small artist anymore that sees and hears everyone asking her to do this. And I'm aware she's already spoken out in 2017. But after ruining that poor girl's life and making her need so much help and then not speaking out about it, it's it's well, it's evil. Oh, and I'd like to make it clear that was not an intentional reference. That's just the first word I thought. Anyway, um, I've watched Timothy's video multiple times even. She has stated that because of what she said about Melanie, she has needed to completely disappear off of social media. She has been harassed, threatened, etc., etc. And because of that, she needed to permanently end her music career. That is horrible. Imagine, okay, how do I say this in the least sensitive way? Imagine somebody, imagine somebody did something to you and then you spoke out about them, but since nobody believed you, they ruined your life instead. No matter who's lying, that's a horrible thing to do. Lying about assault is a very serious thing, and that is very bad. But still, you should let them. Anyway. And let me make this clear. I have never read a court manual. I have never stepped foot in a court in my life. And even I, the uneducated teenager, know what's gonna happen if they try to take this situation to court. They're going to take one good look at the two of them, be like, Melanie, with the amazing lawyer because she is rich, did something happen? And her lawyer is gonna defend her. And because female on female SA is so, I don't know the word, so underestimated and doubted, no matter what, Timothy's gonna lose the case. And it's gonna put her in even more debt. Plus, the case was from 2017. So, why would they go now? If they were to go, even in 2017, that's probably would have happened. So let alone now, if they went, Melanie would never get punished. Like, it's extremely unlikely. Anyway, also, people like to use the argument, but she got the dates wrong. She doesn't know what day it happened. That is so unbelievably common. I have never experienced it. I have never met anyone who has experienced it. And I hope that anyone who has is healing and is doing well. But I can guarantee that when something traumatic happens, you don't just frame that day in your mind and go, okay, this happened to me on this day. Blah, 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 blah. No, the brain blocks out traumatic events. It can cause a plethora of things to happen, which I'm not going to go into, but that's how the brain works. And also the people saying, oh, but they stayed friends after. Oh my god, are you people brain dead? A lot of people stay friends with whoever traumatized them. It's extremely common. I don't know the name of the condition, but I'm pretty sure it's something in the brain that makes them do this. I can go research. I'll be right back. According to my very precise research, yes, there are reasons why someone may want to protect and stay friends with their the main, I don't know her story, so please don't think I'm assuming, but the two that really align with me are fear, intimidation, love, and attachment. According to her own statement, which let me go pull up, I quote, "What if I have my own story of abuse, but I'm scared to ruin the person's life and I still love them in a bleeped up way, and the public really loves them? Most probably wouldn't believe me." Description for why someone may keep in contact, it says, if the victim's abuser is still someone the victim cares about, such as blah blah blah, it does say friend. The victim might have still have feelings of love and attachment, making it hard to break off the relationship, which I being very realistic. And also, there's another one, dependency. They might feel very dependent on, in this case, Melanie, because they were friends for if they met in 2013 and they ended things in 2017, that's 4 years. I could speculate that they were probably really, really, really good friends until the situation happened. So there was probably a hint of dependency in that, and I could see it, honestly. Anyway, so ultimately, yes, there is a lot of proof against Melanie, with 3 people coming out, which I will link, I promise, I swear to God I will, I promise. With everything falling apart, Melanie's deafening silence, and the fact that she's leaving it up to us with so much work to analyze this. I personally never thought in a million years I would be researching this so much, but honestly, I would rather believe a potential liar than a potential.
And coming to find in 2017 when Timothy first made the statement, because I was also a fan of Timothy. I love dresses. I still listen to them. They're still on my playlist. I love dresses, and I'm very sad that we don't have more of Timothy's music that I can say that I love. When Timothy came forward in 2017, I watched the fallout happen in real time. I watched Melanie release the statement saying she never said no, which is directly victim-blaming language. I'm sorry, if there was any male celebrity who had accusations come forward and his response was, she never said no, this would be an incredibly different conversation. But the conversation has broken so fractally because so much of the audience was teenagers, and so many of them didn't understand the situation, and so many of them felt this parasocial attachment to this celebrity, Melanie, that they felt like a sunk cost fallacy of I've loved her for too long, or I've invested too much into this, of my time, of my personality, of my interest. And the truth is, I also invested so much of my time, my energy, my personality, my interest. I was huge into her. It was a lot of my aesthetic at the time or whatever. And It was heartbreaking to me. I genuinely lost real life friends because they did not realize that when they were disbelieving a trauma survivor coming forward with their story, you are hurting so much more than one person. You are hurting everyone who sees your words, everyone who hears your thoughts, that is also a trauma survivor. So many people who are too scared to ever come forward to say that something happened to them at all, let alone point a finger as to who. And for someone who was so brave to come forward with their story, for their abuser to act so abusive in response, to literally say, she never said no, thank fans for sending her hate and dissecting her story to disbelieve and attempt to disprove what happened, despite the fact that Melanie had already admitted that they were together and that they had some sort of contact of that kind. But also Melanie went so far as to release a diss track claiming that Timothy was trying to piggyback off of her success with these accusations. And even in some situation which, based on the context, I do not believe to be the situation, even in some situation where Melanie truly did not understand the consequences of her actions, truly did not understand that she was breaking her friend's consent, if one of my best friends came to me and said they felt hurt, betrayed, violated by me, if they didn't feel safe coming to me and they felt a need to express that publicly, it would be the absolute last thing on my mind to publicly berate and diss that person for feeling that way. Like, if one of my best friends, I would want to understand, I'd want to talk about it, I would never, ever betray that person so publicly, so harmfully, and so mindlessly with such a large young teen audience, talking about the concepts that she talks about in her work. Using that victim-blaming language is perpetrating abuse in so many of her audience members' lives. And I'm sure that that's why they're sitting around debating whether or not you should believe survivors, because so many of them know that if they came forward with their own experiences of being over-sexualized as young girls, they would not be believed or taken seriously. And that's why this matters so much to me. And it's why I won't shut up about it, because it's so much more than one person who has had their life genuinely ruined by coming forward with the truth of the abuse that they went through. It's even deeper than that, and that should be enough to care. It's deeper than that because it goes to so many individual homes of these teenage girls who are listening to this music, who are relating to this person, who is so happy to profit off of these harmful messages that you should disbelieve people who are coming forward with their survival stories, that you should discount and discredit trauma survivors, yet also make aestheticizing content that is directly related to trauma. The Crybaby album literally has kidnapping in it. Like, can we be so honest about what's happening? It's very frustrating for me to witness because I feel in 2017 that I was betrayed by a lot of people who I trusted. And at that point, I was not brave enough to be open about the fact that I had experienced violence in my life. And now I feel, again, like I'm watching these girls fail each other. And I know it's not just teen girls, but that is the majority of the audience. And it's just so hurtful because you're hurting your friends. It's not about Melanie. Look around. Look at your community. You know what I mean? Think about who you're actually hurting. When you're going to Timothy's comments saying, oh, I'm a Melanie fan, but I'm so hurt and confused. That's thoughts for your diary, babe, not for an abuse victim. Okay, I'm clocking out. I love you guys. I hope that my anger is well received, but I'm honestly okay if it's not.
Also, I think it is so messed up that Melanie is profiting off of other people's bad experiences, and she's stereotyping them in a way that seems like she's not spreading awareness, and that's so sad. Like, Melanie has written so many songs that she personally doesn't relate to, and as someone who has gone through a lot of those situations, That is so damaging and so bad. Like, I understand wanting to spread awareness for, I'm going to refer to orange juice because it's the big one. Like, if you want to spread awareness for bulimia, I completely respect that. But oh my god, I'm running on. But the way she did it was so unhinged and glorifying. Not glorifying, but like, it, not, oh my god, wrong word. Stigmatizing. It makes people who actually do involve the thing, I don't know what's the word. Oh my god, I'm gonna need a part.
Now that we're all big and fucking grown, there was no harm in listening to those unreleased songs. And I did. Most of them are ass. Aside from the disgusting allegations, these fucking prices are criminal all by themselves.
With Portals, Melanie has grown increasingly money hungry. During the whole beginning of the Portals tour, it was completely fine. It was the normal reseller drama, but ever since the trilogy tour started, everything's been just going through the roof. I personally paid the $275 for the K-12 dress, and it ripped. I never got to wear it. I just took it out of my closet because I wanted to try it on for my friend, and I noticed that the flower part was completely broken. I don't know what I'm going to do with it because I'm thinking I could just tear the plastic part off and leave this part empty and then keep it as the dress, but I truly don't know what I'm going to do with it, so that's an entirely different situation. Second of all, the candles. I've heard from so many people that their Portals candles came melted and that they are small, which is absolutely valid. I personally did buy 2 of the candles. I bought Fairy Soiree and Nymphology, and I am so grateful that they didn't come melted. They smell nice. Would I pay that again? No. And to those people who are saying, oh, Melanie's in debt. No, she's not. I can guarantee she's not. Oh, but she has a net worth of $8 million. Net worth, not how much money she has in her bank account. She is making loads of money from the trilogy tour. She sells tickets for so much, and the average merchandise prices at her trilogy tour locations range from $60 to $200 plus. And personally, as someone who did go to the trilogy tour, I spent over $800 on merch. What did I get? The poster, a pair of socks, like 3 Melanie shirts, and the K-12 dress. That's not reasonable, and that's not supposed to cost $800. I truly think, especially with all the new fans too, this fandom is growing increasingly toxic, and the amount of toxicity in a fandom that's supposed to be accepting and loving of people who relate and cherish Melanie's songs is disgraceful. Sure, Melanie's no angel, but the people here truly make Melanie seem like the devil's work. Like, I understand that Melanie might have essayed someone, but sending death threats, spam reporting, doxing, making sober Melanie literally want to herself is so gross. And as somebody who has struggled with thoughts, that is so gross, and I would never wish it on anyone in my life. And honestly, when sober Melanie quit the fandom, it made me want to take a breather and quit as well. Because Melanie fans have a lot of things in their life to do, and Melanie needs to realize that. Because what she's doing right now is essentially saying, I understand Timothy is back, and I know that people in 2017 covered for me and did all the research themselves, so I'm just going to leave it to them. And originally, I would have been fine with that, because most Melanie fans are teenagers, and I'm willing to admit that most teenagers who have a parasocial relationship to a celebrity would do anything for them. And by anything, I mean the people who are saying, oh, well, she's innocent. She wouldn't be the type of person to do that. I don't even need to research because I know Melanie's like this amazing angel person. And she might not be. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and we need to accept that. The point is, both of the people that Melanie supposedly assaulted did not say yes. Sure, Melanie claimed they didn't say no to the stuff we chose to do together. She admitted herself that they had they did stuff. I'm not 100%. Nobody knows for sure what they did except them. Because again, nobody was in the room besides them when it happened. I do not care whose side do you believe is right. If you believe Melanie, that's good for you. I don't personally believe either. Well, I believe I'm leaning towards Timothy's side because look at how much she lost in the first situation. Her everything but her bank account was hacked. She got doxxed. Her address got leaked, her phone number got leaked, I'm pretty sure her family's phone number got leaked. She was sent millions of death threats by around 9 to 14 million people. There were so many hate accounts created about her. And I don't care whose side you're on. That's so stupid and cruel, and even if it's not true and she just lied, that is so messed up. Even lying about something tiny could snowball into massive consequences, like someone's life getting ruined. But if you are so sure, you are positive something happened between two people, and you are willing to risk your entire reputation, and you're literally one step away from being canceled for it, and you still want to step up, that is a sign that you might be telling the truth. And judging by how many people who have come forward and said bad stuff about Melanie, it's honestly really, really disheartening that this amazing person that so many people have looked up to, that so many people said, oh, she understands. And the fact that she's written about so much stuff that helped people heal, but she might just be a bad person. Yeah, it sucks. But you kind of need to accept that because what she did is not acceptable.
Oh, where's the principal? Oh, where's the principal?